Welcome, everybody, to Roofing Explained. I am your host, Patrick Carr, and with me, I've got Mike Feazel, your roofing expert. Let me tell you what, today we are talking about a part of the roofing process that a lot of homeowners dread. Mike, we're talking about that inspection, where someone knocks on your door, you answer it, they maybe want to inspect that roof, or you've called a roofing company to come out and look at your home. We're talking about that inspection, everybody. Mike, before we get started on that, can you give everyone a little background about your history in roofing and perhaps how many of these inspections you've personally been a part of?
Yeah, I've always jokingly said it's like the dentist showing up to your house. Nobody gets excited about having a roofer to their home. We are definitely a necessity-driven business. I started in the roofing industry in '85 right out of high school. Started my own business with my brother in 1988, so have done just thousands and thousands of inspections.
Wow. And so for all your homeowners out there, maybe you file one or two insurance claims in your life, or you've noticed damage on your roof just a few times. Here's how exactly the process works. You got a hailstorm that rolls through. All right, Mike, we know that. Hailstorm causes some damage, and in a few weeks later, they start to see that yellow stain that pops through on their roof. My first question for you is, before an individual, they see the stain, what should they be doing, thinking, should they be documenting before they ever give that roofing contractor a call? Can you walk me through what should be going through their head when they see that stain?
So once you see a stain inside the attic or that's coming into the home, the drywall, most likely that leak has been there for quite some time because water has to pass through the shingles, the underlayment, the wood decking, whether it be plywood or sheathing boards, then over a foot of insulation, 18 inches of insulation, and then through the drywall or the plaster. That leak has probably been happening for some time. Most leaks don't just occur overnight. Now, in the case of a storm, if a shingle gets blown off, you can have that stain show up pretty quickly.
Sure.
For documentation, you need to inspect your roof every year, and you should really walk around from the ground with binoculars. I mean, unless you get up on your roof to clean out your gutters, then give it a closer look if you're comfortable with that. But at least walk around from the ground with binoculars and look up at your roof in the spring, after winter, in the fall, before winter, and then after any big storm, just to see the condition. Unfortunately, in the roofing industry, on the residential side, there's not enough companies they all say they'll offer a free inspection, but that's really to come out to see if there's storm damage and sell you a roof. But I think that roofing companies, there needs to be more of them that do it. We've always offered the service for inspections, right? A paid inspection, having somebody come out. The National Roofing Contractor Association suggests 2 inspections a year, a spring and a fall.
Is there a catch with the free inspection, and why are so many roofing contractors willing to offer this to homeowners?
It's a great question. Most contractors today don't do repairs. They don't offer service. They don't talk about that on their website. They won't tell you that when you call. But they are only in the roof replacement business. So a free inspection is a way for me to come out and see if I can sell you a new roof. The challenge when you have a contractor, I'm going to say east of the Mississippi, 90% of contractors today don't have a service department, a legitimate service department. So, when you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Well, your salespeople need to pay make their house payment, their car payment. So everybody's out there pushing new roofs. And there's a lot of great roofing companies. But I really judge a roofing company based on their service department, because then I know that they are customer-centric. At the end of the day, if you focus on the customer, you will build a great business. When you look at their Google reviews, and if they've got 5 or 10, I'm probably not going to have a conversation with that contractor. I probably wouldn't talk with a roofing contractor that has less than 100 reviews. If they're taking care of their customers are wanting to do reviews. And Google doesn't let you can't scrub those reviews. They're legit. It's as legitimate a review as you can get as a Google review. So many other reviews are easy to scrub and get fake reviews, not with Google. And you can go through those reviews and you'll see within the review that, somebody came out and reflashed my chimney. They fixed my skylight. It's not always replace my roof. They did a great job. Replace my roof. They did a good job.
So, Mike, once the homeowner is ready to have an individual come out to their home and to do the inspection, they've called that roofing contractor. Let's take our example of a free inspection. They show up at the door. Are there certain things that a homeowner can look for immediately that would denote a qualified versus unqualified contractor, good versus bad? First impression, what should they be looking at?
I mean, there's so many small things, right? Did they confirm the appointment? It just shows professionalism, right? They care about the customer as a reminder. Did they show up on time? If they were even a few minutes late, did they message you and say, hey, Mrs. Smith, I'm running just a little bit behind? Yeah. That shows you what that long-term relationship would look like. They care about the customer. Of course, when they get there, if they're coming into the home, shoe covers. It's a simple thing, but we're on roofs all day. Roofs are made of tar. So again, it shows care. It shows detail. Roofing is a very detailed thing, right? A pinhole, a hole the size of a pinhead is a 6-lane highway for a drop of water.
Yes.
And then, of course, if it's a roof leak, they need to get in your attic.
So
I mean, you can get up on the roof, and you have to get up on the roof, but you also need to get in the attic and see what's going on.
What is it about an attic inspection that can separate a good from the bad? What do contractors look for up there who know what they're doing?
Well, when you're looking in the attic, obviously, if it's for a roof leak, you're looking for the water, the entry point from the water, which is not necessarily directly above it on the roof. Water has to pass through the shingles, through the felt or the synthetic underlayment, through the plywood, can run down a truss or a rafter, right? Then it gets into the insulation. You've got to saturate 18 inches of insulation, and then it makes its way through the drywall. So, but a skilled roofer knows how to look in that attic and deduct what's going on, and then get on the roof and start to pinpoint where's the entry.
Should a roofing contractor still be getting on the roof to provide a physical inspection, or is a drone inspection suffice right now?
If I'm getting a roof replacement, a drone inspection is fine. I can see the amount of degranulation in the gutters. I can measure the roof. I can get pictures of everything I need for the file, for the production file. If it's for a roof leak, a drone isn't going to do anything. You still need to get in the attic. You still need to get on the roof.
What kind of pictures and documentation should a homeowner expect from a contractor who's coming to their home for an inspection?
Pictures of all of the overall roof structure, then close-ups of the shingle, the condition of the shingle, southern slope, northern slope. Mm-hmm. Southern slope always wears out first due to UV, right? That's the weakest link in the chain. And then all of the flashing details. Flashing is around a chimney, around a skylight, along a wall. Mm-hmm. And flashings are the most leak-prone areas of the roof. So you need to look at all the flashing details.
Yeah, and I think as a homeowner, you shouldn't be afraid to ask for those pictures. If an individual is going to come out there and provide an inspection for you, then asking for that documentation of what they see, I want to be able to actually see it. I mean, I think that some homeowners, Mike, they feel like when a contractor comes out there, they start talking about these words like eaves and things. Roofing is not complicated. Show me where the leak is. Show me where the shingle is lifting. I think homeowners should really demand that of the contractor at their home.
Today's consumer is so educated with the internet, and transparency is everything. Successful companies in today's world, I believe, are transparent. To me, it's not about selling roofing. It's about educating the customer, making them aware of their various options, and then let them make the educated buying decision for their family. They know what they need better than you. You just give them the options and point them in the right direction, and then it's their decision. And that builds trust.
So is there something, I guess the best way to pose this is, what is real damage versus what is this manufactured stuff by perhaps a contractor? Is there a way for a homeowner to be able to firmly feel like they are making the right decision when they're being presented with picture after picture of what someone is saying is damage? How can you navigate this world when you don't do this every day, Mike?
What are the reviews? What is the reputation in the market? And in today's world, with advertising, you can appear to have a great reputation. If I'm buying a new roof, I'm going to want to see that you've been in business for 5 years. I'm going to want to see that you've got 100 reviews. I'm going to want to see that, 4.9, 5 stars. That's not realistic. 4.7, right?
Yes.
Read the reviews. Take the time, right? You're spending a lot of money. It's your home. Spend time. Do some due diligence. Talk to some referrals. Of course, they're going to give you good referrals. Yeah. Again, you can read through those referrals and those testimonials on Google, and that shows me that you really care about the customer.
Everybody, we're talking to Mike Feazel here with Maxx, our roofing expert here on Roofing Explained. And so, Mike, I have two questions left for you about the inspection. That first, what you might even say the beginning of the process for roofing. What should a homeowner be looking for? Is there one particular type of contractor that's going to be ideal for them with the roof? Because rejuvenation is not something that every contractor offers, even every GC offers out there.
Most don't today.
Right. Yeah. And so, I think there are advantages to some and maybe not others. What, in your opinion, or if any, should a homeowner be looking for in that individual who's out inspecting their home as far as licensing is concerned?
Yeah, great question. So licensing is state to state, city to city. Mm-hmm. If you're replacing the roof, you have to use a licensed contractor, depending on what the licensing may look like in your area. Texas doesn't have a license. We can all just go to Texas tomorrow and start a roofing company.
Wild West.
But again, back to the reviews, right? How long have they been in business? Do they have a brick and mortar? So you can still, it doesn't take a license to say they're a legitimate contractor. But make sure that licensing, if it's required for replacement, you must have a license. They should pull a permit if it's required in that area. All areas don't require that. For rejuvenation, there's really not licensing. It's a new thing. Been around, we started this back in 2017. And it really falls under maintenance, right? It's like, so repairs are going to be the same. There's no license for repairs. Most markets will allow you to come in. Here in Florida, you can't hardly get on a roof without a license. And I think that's a good thing.
What can you tell a homeowner who perhaps comes across a Maxx dealer, somebody out there that's using Maxx, about what they should expect from the product itself?
Sure. So back in 17 and even 18, 19, that was a valid question. And it's still a valid question today. But the science has proven it out. Also, time in the saddle. Now, Maxx is not to protect against hurricanes. It's really just, we sell it as a maintenance product. Petrochemical oil dries out. That's why you get potholes in the road. It's why your roof blows off and the shingle ends up in the backyard. Mm-hmm. We're just putting an all-natural, a plant-based oil back in to replace the dried-out petrochemical oils. It's a skin moisturizer for your roof.
Yes.
It's that simple. Now, a flexible roof will withstand hail better. A flexible roof will withstand wind better.
Yes.
That's it. So it's pretty simple. There's no magic to it, and it does work. When a roof is fully saturated, when it's brand new, out of the bundle and laid on the roof, there's enough petrochemical oil that shingle can fully contract and expand. Yeah. Right? Think about thermal shock. It's 95 degrees here in Florida. The roof's 150. Thunderstorm rolls in, cools the roof quickly to 65, 70 degrees. That's thermal shock. Sun comes back out, fully expands it again. That roof can fully contract and expand so the granules stay in place. Once enough petrochemical oil has evaporated from that asphalt, it starts to undergo stress, and then it starts to shed the granules. Yep. And then that snowball effect happens. The more granules that are shed, the more asphalt that is exposed, the quicker the oil dries out. And so we're just coming back in and resaturating. We don't stop degranulation. We reduce it, greatly reduce it.
Absolutely, you do.
And our studies have shown that we took a 17-year-old 3-tab shingle, which typically are lasting for 12 to 15 years. We sent in treated and untreated samples. We didn't send them in. Ohio State University did the study with PRI testing labs based out of Tampa. They do all of the major manufacturers testing, ASTM testing for all of the major manufacturers. And we passed the same flexibility testing on a 17-year-old 3-tab shingle as a brand new roof. We passed that same flexibility testing.
That's great.
So again, it's not just Maxx, right? It is a treatment process, soy methyl ester that gets its way down on the shingle. There are other competitors. There's nobody nationwide yet that we see that has, but that's coming, right? There's not a big competitor out there, but there's going to be, and it's going to change the industry. And we're excited because we're the ones that started it. We're kind of the forefront of it. We're excited about what this means for the roofing industry, which is undergoing a lot of change right now.
That is, and we're going to discuss some of the changes in later episodes here on Roofing Explained, everybody. Obviously, our expert Mike Feazel here. If you have somebody coming out for an inspection to your home, make sure you watch this episode back one more time. There's so many great things that you're going to need to learn as a homeowner and as a consumer to ensure that you don't get taken advantage of and you get the proper repair, replacement, or rejuvenation for your roof. Listen, you don't do this every day. It's okay. Make sure you learn from the expert, Mike Feazel, right here. And we'll see you next time on Roofing Explained. See you later.